what's your emergency?
Welcome back to That Weewoo Show, a podcast where we watch and discuss episodes of the ABC show 911. I'm Bex.
I'm Alice.
And I'm Ellen.
As always, thank you to everyone who has listened to our episodes so far, who have shared our social media posts, who have commented on our social media posts or on the podcasting platform of their choice as they listen to our episodes. We'd love to hear from you, so please keep that up. And thank you to everyone who has taken the time out to rate us on Spotify and or Apple Podcast, which gives us the warm and fuzzies to hear what you think about us, and it also helps to get us in more people's ears, which, although slightly terrifying to think that more people are listening to us, is also a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Thank you.
But no, thank you. We really do appreciate it.
So let's dive straight into talking about this episode that we all kind of struggled with, but we'll get to that in a minute. Firstly, Alice, do you want to remind us about the better times in the past of 911?
Yeah, last week's action-packed episode of 911, Hen and Karen prepared for their foster daughter to return to her birth mother. The 118 dealt with a fiery car crash caused by a drunk driver in which Albert came close to death. And Maddie and Chimney welcome baby Ji-yoon into the world.
Yay! G exists now.
Finally! We can mention G without Ellen going, who?
Yeah, so speaking of Ji-yoon, we're up to an episode that is called Parenthood. This is episode 10 of season 4, first aired on the 26th of April in 2021. The official summary says the 118 responds to a series of calls dealing with parents and their children, including a disastrous birthday party thrown by a mummy blogger. Meanwhile, Athena and Michael talk to May about her past suicide attempt. Chimney and Maddie adjust to life with their newborn, and Hen and Karen are emotionally shattered as their foster daughter Nia is reunited with her birth mother. And we do have some fairly major, probably the most major triggers that we can almost have are in this episode. We have a trigger for assisted suicide. We'll get to that in a minute. Abuse of power, dealing with foster parents and biological parents. Bad parenting, cancer, flashbacks to a suicide attempt via pills in season 1 where May's attempted suicide, including the 911 call that Athena made, and a general warning for foster care system. So we have just a warning that we also didn't really enjoy. Even though this episode contains some really major and not dark, but heavy subject material.
It's very heavy, and I think that's why I struggled with it.
It's hard, it's a difficult watch, and it's probably, we'll do the best that we can in terms of addressing some of the things that are in it. But if we do start to make light of things, just know that that's how we cope with heavy issues a lot of the time. And we've said this in the past, that sometimes we make jokes about things that just to help us get through it, because there is a lot of heavy stuff in here.
I'm flagging right now. It wasn't the heaviness of the episode. It was literally I did not care about anybody in this episode.
It was a very slow episode in general. I think they tried to make it really emotionally affecting, but all it did was kind of draw everything out and make it really freaking boring. Anyway, we'll do our best, and I'm sorry if this is an episode that you really enjoy, because the rest of us are like, eh.
Yeah. All right, anyway. To kick us off, I'm going to drop a quick trivia tidbit in that the episode title Parenthood not only reflects the fact that this entire episode is about parenting and parenthood, but I think is also a nice little callback to a previous gig that Peter Krause had, in that he was one of the leads in an ensemble series called Parenthood.
Ah, yeah.
Very cute.
In which he met his previous wife on that series. And in very Dexter fashion, she played his sibling on the show.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Right, so let's get into it. The summary kept calling this woman a mummy blogger. I don't know that she's necessarily a mummy blogger. She seems to be a content creator that focuses on, like, mummy stuff.
I feel like she's on Instagram or...
Yeah, she'd be like a mummy TikToker or a mummy Instagrammer. I don't necessarily think that she's got an old-fashioned blog, but I don't think that the people writing the show have caught up with social media trends, and they're still thinking about, like, the early 2000s mummy bloggers, where people were literally writing blogs and writing large swathes of words about parenting and mummy.
This is 2021. Like, TikTok was around then, right? It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, but how old are the people who are writing this show? And how into TikTok are they?
Yeah.
But it's not TikTok. Funnily enough, this episode has a lot to do with Instagram. And I'm wondering why Instagram gets such a shout out from this show.
Oh,
I don't have an
it might
answer.
have been a product placement type thing?
I have no idea, but it's just this, like, the go-to social media platform seems to be Insta.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But yes, we have supermum_Beth ! Is live for her son Bryson's 12th birthday party. And she is going to use the live to show all of her followers how a successful supermum or dad throws a birthday bash. And
maybe
at this
not
point,
like this.
At this point, she cuts to her son and she's like, "How are you enjoying your party?" And Bryson holds his hand up over the camera in a, like, "Do not film me."
Bryson.
Basically, he's not enjoying it at all. He thinks it is the most embarrassing birthday party that he has ever had and ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Because he's 12. He's not, like, 5.
He's 12, and the birthday party is, I thought it was, like, cowboy or western themed. It turns out it's barnyard themed.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which is really cute if your kid is 5.
Yeah, like, one of my friends just had a really cute barnyard theme birthday party for her son's 2nd birthday.
Yeah, Bryson wanted to do paintball or laser tag, which I think is much more age appropriate for a 12-year-old. But that would go against, you couldn't monetize that.
No, can't really go live.
She wouldn't, her sponsors would not support that kind of party.
He's like, "It's so lame. I can't believe you made me wear this." I'm like, wow, my 11-year-old would not let me force her to wear something that she did not want to wear.
Like, that's interesting point that, like, "I can't believe you forced me to wear it." I'm like, "Sir, you still put it on. Like, you're complaining about it. But you do have some autonomy with your body. You could have refused to put it on at all."
Yeah. Anyway, this stuff is for babies.
Apparently, the one good thing about the party is the trampoline, which, look, is the most decrepit trampoline that I've ever seen. And I grew up in the 90s.
It's like from the 90s. I'm pretty sure they found it in a garage from the 90s.
I mean, it does have, like, you know, fences around it kind of thing. Like, it's not
it's not like
old 90s trampoline.
It's not early 90s because we didn't have that safety shit, but, like...
No. We just bounced it right off.
Pretty much, yeah.
But in this case, it's not that's causing the safety issue. I was watching, because this... So I watched this episode before, like, a few weeks ago before we got to it in the podcast, so I did not have the triggers. So I didn't know what was coming when I watched this, right?
Oh,
so
no.
I'm watching this, and there's, like, a party happening, and these kids are jumping on the trampoline. They keep flashing to the springs, and I'm like, oh, no. And when it actually happened, I was like, oh, okay, that was not as bad as I thought it was going to. I thought, like, the kids were going to go flying, or, like, you know, it was going to fall onto the ground, everyone break their legs or something. But no, instead, the mum just announces that they're going to play pin the tail on the donkey, and Bryson is like, "I think I liked it better when you had a real job," and then he fucks off to the trampoline, and she's gone live on Instagram again, and she's talking about, like, yeah, we're going to pin the tail on the donkey, this game's a classic, and no one looks like they actually want to play the game.
No.
But as Bryson is now jumping on the trampoline, the springs break and fire, like, ping off, and they stab through his mum. Pin her hand to the door. They pin her to the donkey.
Also her torso.
They pin,
how strong were they going?
See, that's the thing. So you had two springs go flying off on the same trajectory, which was pretty much horizontal, because we got like a full-on Final Destination 5 3D kind of moment, seeing the springs come flying at the camera. And then they continue their velocity with enough force that they are able to go not only through Beth's hand, but through her hand and through the wood of the door, because we do get to see the bloodied end of a spring protruding through the door on the other side. Now look, being in the 90s with decrepit trampolines, I have seen many a spring go flying off a trampoline bed. None of them flew horizontally. They all just kind of pinged up in an arc and went flying.
And none of them got embedded in walls or people?
No, because they kind of went up, not just straight. Yes, none of them got embedded anywhere.
Like, both ends of the spring are connected to something, so...
Yes. So for two springs, for both ends to come loose and ping off in the same trajectory at the same angle, going flying straight, not tumbling, not spinning, and maintain it's so for the drama.
For the drama.
It's for the drama, but again, it's not even enjoyable for the drama.
No, because you kind of like, ma'am, you wanted to play pin the tail on the donkey, now you got it. You wanted it,
now you're pinned to the
Yes, now you are pinned to the donkey.
And even when Bryson calls 911,
yes.
he says, my mum's pinned to the donkey. All right, so this next scene is possibly the best part of the entire, like, best as in, like, the funniest, because, and the rest of it is pretty low bar, but I liked this part because it was really funny.
Because we have the 118 rock up, and they have their victim who has been impaled with two objects, and as we have learned from the show, if you have a person that has got a puncture injury, you do not remove said object lest they bleed out before you can get them to a hospital, unless it's a champagne cork impeding a person's ability to breathe, in which case pop that sucker right out.
Yes. Eddie diagnoses that the spring has missed her tendon because she can wiggle her fingers.
Yes. But Hen is slightly concerned that even though Beth is stable, she's breathing well, she doesn't know how they're going to detach her from the barn door in order to transport her to hospital. And Bobby, using his big brain, says, we transport her with it, donkey and all. And then looks around going, where is Buck? Meanwhile, the most exciting thing that has ever happened to the birthday party as far as the 12-year-olds is, number one, like Bryson's mum getting punctured by the spikes. Number two, a firefighter is showing them the circular saw. Because Buck has got a group of 12-year-olds over by the trampoline and he's talking them through the circular saw and how cool it is. And they look absolutely rapt.
Especially that one kid who goes,
oh,
I bet it could slice through bone too. And Buck's just like, oh, okay. All right then.
So at this point he gets saved by the chief, who calls Buck over because they actually do need that saw in order to cut through the hinges so they can remove the door from the barn.
Oh, this was great because, okay, they go through a little bit about how she's whinging about how it's a mummy blog and, you know, I spent months planning this thing, blah, blah, blah. My kid hates me. And Bobby's like, he doesn't hate you. He's just 12. He'll get over it. And I'm like, oh, that's so true, man. Some days I really feel that. Eddie says, phase 1 was a success. There's no way that we can get this door into the ambulance. We got a call for a flatbed. And I turned to my sister-in-law who I was watching this with and I said, just strap her to the roof. And then the next scene...
They've literally strapped her to the roof of the engine truck. Yep.
Could not believe it.
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, how else are they going to... if they have to wait for a larger sort of ambulance to come, then she might be in more trouble than she is.
I don't think they were calling for an ambulance. I think they were literally trying to get a ute, and they were just going to strap her into the back of the ute.
Yeah.
But, yep, strap her to the top of the engine truck. That works fine. So we have to wrap this up because we're going to get a title reference, unfortunately. Yeah. They get Beth to the hospital. They unload her from the truck onto a gurney. Bryson got to ride in a fire truck, so that's, cherry on the cake. That is his 12th birthday. This is a great birthday
now. Yeah.
He's got Beth's phone, and while Beth is trying to apologise to him and tell him that she's going to give up mummy blogging, she's going to go back to her normal job, he says to her, "No, you were live the entire time. The comments are rolling in. You went viral." And Beth immediately perks up and goes, "We're going to be rich. I am monetizing Parenthood." And everybody takes a drink and rolls their eyes and goes, "Oh my god, that's the kind of episode we're in for."
Mm-hmm.
And we go to the title card.
Yep, so that's like all the fun for this episode. I don't think anything else is like any ounce of fun the rest of the time.
Nope. Not really.
All right, so we'll go and check in with the Wilsons.
Yes. And when we were talking last week about having the wisdom of Karen fostering, considering all of the trauma in her past, we kind of forgot about Denny and the trauma in his past. And his trauma is rearing its ugly little head. Yeah. Because with Nia being reunited with her biological or quote-unquote real mother, Denny is now terrified that he's going to be sent away too.
Oh, bless him. Yeah, he didn't sort of let on at all last week that he was... Like, he was sad that Nia was leaving, but he didn't
No, because they hadn't thought of that storyline yet.
Yeah, that's right. Someone went, "Oh, shit, yeah, that's right."
Like, we got to really make emotional wrecks out of everyone. How can we do that? Hey, how do you think Denny would cope with seeing kids, like, being sent back to their real mums, considering, like, these two are not his quote-unquote real mums? I don't know. Let's write that into the episode.
Well, thankfully, they have a piece of paper from a judge to say that Hen and Karen are his real mums.
Yes, because they literally adopted him.
No one will ever come and take him away from them, and they reassure him of that. And it's really cute.
It is kind of cute.
And I liked that he sort of asked if his his other mum not want him.
Yeah, they literally have him stop and realise what he was about to say and the impact that could have on Hen and Karen, and then very carefully chooses his words moving forward.
Yeah, bless him. But yeah, Hen just tells him that she was sick and she wasn't in a place where she could take care of you, i.e. she was in jail. I don't know if Denny knows that his mum is still in jail.
I don't know. I don't care.
No, I don't care either.
I hated Eva.
We're done with Eva.
Well, we do not want any
I hope we're done with
mention
Eva.
It. Oh, God. I don't know how much they have told Denny at this point.
Anyway, they do reassure him that no one is ever going to come and take him away, and they have a very cuddly hug, and I would like to also be squished to Hen's bosom. Because it looks like a lovely hug.
Absolutely same.
So from that heartrending moment, we move on to heartrending moment number 2, which is the next morning when Nia is leaving the house. And Denny is being an absolute sweetheart, and he hands over a blanket that Nia apparently kept stealing from him, so he's decided to gift it to her. And he hands over the plush unicorn that Nia was, like, giving to everybody, like it was Hen's study buddy at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Because he knows that was Nia's favourite. And Nia is being incredibly cute, and she's asking whether Denny will play with her later. And Denny's like, I don't think I can. And Carly reminds, because this is all happening in the living room. You've got Hen and Karen standing behind watching, and you've got Carly and Deirdre were there as well. Carly reminds Nia that she's going home to her mummy. And Nia's like, "Oh, Denny, come with me?" Having to like, no, Nia, just you, and why don't you say goodbye to everybody?
Oh, she's so cute.
Karen gives her a big hug. Hen tries to distract herself from breaking down by asking Nia if she had given the unicorn a name, and Nia very quickly says she's going to name it Denny for her big brother. And I think Hen just about collapses.
That pushes Hen over the edge. She's... Oh.
And then when Carly tries to hurry the process along, she doesn't want to make it a drawn-out process. Nia says, bye, see you later. And Hen tries to, like, no, you're not going to see us later because you're leaving. And Karen very quickly steps in because that's just going to confuse the situation anymore. She's like, yes, we'll see you later. Because, you know, a 2-year-old's not going to understand.
No.
And so Carly leaves with Nia. They kick Denny out to go to the kitchen, where apparently Tony is in there, but she is actually in there this episode. She's not just floating around the house.
Yeah, she is. She comes back later.
And Deirdre reassures Ken and Harren. No. Karen and Hen.
Yes.
That this is incredibly hard. It's always hard. It never gets any easier. And Karen acknowledges that and says, yes, this is something we're going to have to discuss for next time. And Hen's like, there's not going to be a next time. I'm not doing this again. And walks off.
Yeah.
Which honestly, like, at that point, I'm like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't. Yeah. Neither of you are ready.
Yeah, you're not emotionally mature enough at the moment to be coping with any of this.
No.
All right, so from one set of parents to the next, we're going to see Maddie, and we're including Ji-yoon in the Maddie, group now, the family.
The Maddie umbrella.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, G's not really a character yet. She's just a, live doll that changes into a baby occasionally.
Oh,
a baby doll.
God. Yes, the doll. It's... I mean, the first time I noticed the doll was when... Okay, so in this scene, actually, they show a shot of the baby, of the actual baby, being cute and looking, and Maddie's like, you're going to be late if you keep watching her, because Jim's watching her. And then immediately Maddie picks up G and holds her like this, and the arm just looks like one of those baby doll arms that's slightly bent and shiny. And I was like, oh no. And then from that moment on, I couldn't help but notice.
I don't think it helps that anytime any of the actors are holding the baby doll, they are holding a baby doll. There's something about when later on in the scene where Maddie hands the quote-unquote baby to Chim, and then we get a close-up of Kenneth, who's actually holding the real live baby because it's moving. The way he's holding it is much, much more deliberate. He's being much more careful with it than he is with the baby doll.
It's like coffee cups, and once you see the coffee cup, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Last week, I binged through The Summer I Turned Pretty because I'm watching it with friends. It's the worst show ever.
Don't spoil it. I know it's...
Oh my God, you're interested. Yes, there you go.
I haven't seen the new season, so don't spoil it. But yes, it's terrible.
I will not say anything.
But it's addictive.
It's awful. It's addictive. I can't stop watching it. I'm glad that it's not just me. It got to the point where I was literally like, yes, that was the last episode for the week. And my friend's like, oh, no, the other one just came out. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, there's another one I have to watch. It's so bad. Anyway, there was a scene where they were drinking takeaway coffee. And they were just so obviously empty. And I'm like, please, if they can't act with a takeaway coffee cup, just don't give them the takeaway. Give them something else. I don't understand how the film industry yet has not just put something, in the bottom of the fake coffee mugs.
They just put water in it or something, just to give it a bit of weight.
They don't want the liquid sound be picked up on the mics.
But then put a weight or something in the bottom of the cup.
But just put a weight or something. Surely it's the film industry. They have a lot of money. Surely they can just get... a bit of, a weight of something, plasticine or something that goes in the bottom.
Yeah.
And, throws it off slightly. Because the main thing with, liquid is obviously, the weight is different. When you pick it up, it sloshes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, there's got to be a way to do that. And they're always empty and they drive me insane.
And I think that's the issue with the baby doll versus the real baby, in that the baby doll is plastic and has no weight to it.
The real baby sloshes really around.
Yep, they need to make the baby slosh. That's exactly it.
They need a baby doll that wriggles. That'd be creepy as hell, but yeah.
It just needs to be weighted. It needs to be like one of those reborn dolls that are like have the weight of a legitimate baby.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the baby doll / real baby in this episode is nuts.
It's very fun.
The other thing that's really hard to unsee, just because I'm going to ruin filmmaking for all our listeners this week, apparently.
Thanks a lot.
The paper bags are never paper. They're like a vinyl because they don't want the crunching sound of the paper.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to unsee that now either.
Yeah, once you see it, like whenever they have grocery bags, they're always vinyl, and like once you see it, you can't unsee it. They're better at least than the coffee mugs. The coffee mugs, like as soon as there's a coffee mug in a scene, it makes me angry. Like it physically makes me angry because no one like
except Jensen.
No one's not as bad.
Jensen can act with a coffee cup.
God damn you, Jensen.
I'm gonna have to find Jensen with a he can do everything though. So
I'm pretty sure that there is a clip or there is an interview or something where he talks about like specifically training himself how to drink out of a coffee cup and make it look legitimate on scene.
See, that's true acting. That's
it.
Yeah, it's like on their resume, you know, they can ride horses, they can roller skate, they can drink out of coffee cups and make it look real.
Yeah.
All right. Right, back to the scene.
We're already derailing ourselves.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Sorry we've ruined TV magic for you, but I need people to be as angry as I am. So
okay.
So the point of this scene is that Chim is going to work. I'm guessing he must have been off on paternity leave. This is his first shift back, and he's leaving Maddie at home with not one but 2 children because Albert is living with them while he is still convalescing, and he's still suffering from these traumatic injuries from the car accident and needs a lot of help, like to the point where Maddie and Chimney are sort of cooing over Ji-yoon, and Chimney is like regretting that he has to leave, and we hear Albert sort of shriek in the background and hear the thud of something because he tried to get something off a shelf by himself, but he is still having balance issues from his like traumatic brain injury, and it fell down.
Yeah, poor Albert. Like, Chim's like, why didn't you ask me or Maddie to help? And he's like, you already have a baby to take care of. You don't need 2.
But Chim doesn't want him to hurt himself when he should be asking for help. And Albert seems to be very frustrated with his lack of progress. He's like, I should be better by now.
Yeah, he mentioned the accident was weeks ago. We find out a couple scenes later it's been 8 weeks. So
that's very, very short in like recovery time.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, even though we had a break between like last episode and the episode before that, I don't know if there's a break between. No, there's literally a week break. And it's been 2 months.
Yeah, we've just time jumped.
So we've had a time skip, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, Chim's saying to him, like, you have to be patient. Let us help you, and you need to just rest. And Albert's like, it feels like all I do is rest.
It's what you need to do to get better. So Chim goes off to work, leaving Maddie at home with the invalid and the baby. And the first thing we see of Chim at work is that he's showing baby pictures to Eddie and Buck, mostly. I think Bobby is there somewhere. This is the most
adorable scene, because they're all just cooing over these baby pictures.
You've got, like, Bobby, who is, like, everybody's dad, so he's always going to love babies. You've got Eddie, who has a kid, so he's predisposed to loving babies. And then you've got Buck, who's just going to kidnap any baby that he sees. Yeah, so of course he's going to love.
So yes, they are all predisposed to be loving baby pictures.
They all, absolutely. And especially this is Chim's kid, so they.
Yeah,
love
I was
Chim,
going to say I don't care about baby photos, but then I'm like, no, I do for people I love. Like, I like seeing my best friends' kids all the time. Like, one of them just sent me a video earlier today. Of their 2-year-old dancing to The Living End. And I was like, yeah, you go, little man, you go dancing. But, like, then I have, like, an acquaintance that shares baby photos all the time in an unrelated, like, group chat. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, that baby could be the star of a show called Babies I Don't Care About. That's a line from The Office. I'm not that funny.
Okay. Well, these guys are all loving looking at the baby pictures.
I do like this cute little exchange where Chim is like scrolling through the photos and she's like, this is the photo where the first time she smiled, and Eddie's kind of peering at the string going, you sure that's a smile? It's the same face Buck makes when he's gassy. And Buck just kind of looks at him and then goes, you know what? I will take that as a compliment because it just means she looks like me.
Yeah.
Such a weird exchange for people who aren't a couple. Anyway,
But yeah, honestly, like, Chim's not even someone that I work with. He doesn't exist, and I'm still just like, show me all the baby photos on your Chim.
Bobby says that having a kid is like walking around with your heart outside your body, and Chim's like, that's weird and morbid.
What's really interesting is that they're talking about Chim and the baby and how he and Maddie are coping with the arrival of Ji-yoon and looking after her and Albert. But as soon as they see Hen walk into the kitchen, they all suddenly shut up and immediately change the topic of conversation just to Albert, because they're all very conscious of the fact that babies might be triggering to Hen at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
But Hen has rallied. She's got a cake box, and she's disappointed that there are no balloons, there's no banners, there's nothing celebrating Chim's return back to work.
Yeah, Chim says he doesn't really need any of that stuff. But Hen's like, no, we celebrate every good moment when we can. Show me the baby pictures.
And she's not lying. She legitimately wants to see those baby photos, and she's cooing over them just as much as the others.
Well, yeah, because they're her best friend's babies. Like, of course she wants to see it.
Yes, doesn't matter that she's hurting, that she's quote-unquote lost her baby. She's going to be there to celebrate Chim's.
Yeah, and she says she's so big already, and we're like, yeah, we know this child is like huge for an 8-week-old baby.
No,
actually,
but what's really
the baby that
interesting...
they have in earlier in the other scene actually looks maybe like it could be an 8-week-old baby.
Right. The baby that they have in this episode looks like age appropriate compared to the massive toddler that they had on FaceTime at the end of the last episode.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the same baby, but
oh, it's definitely not the same baby, but it's just ridiculous that it's gone from, this tiny little baby during the birth scene to, the toddler that ate that baby over FaceTime, and now it's shrunk back down to like a normal size baby.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of babies...
They grow up so fast.
Actually, speaking of babies that don't grow up so fast, let's head over to... Where are we going? Irvine Street. Where a young man is trying to break into a house. Yeah. Except it kind of backfires on him. He's trying to climb up a trellis that has twinkle lights and some sort of flower woven through it. But as he gets to the top of the trellis, it breaks away from the front of the house, and he swings and somersaults and crashes to the ground.
And then he still has his phone with him, so he calls 911.
He calls 911 on himself. Yeah.
And they've put her on nights already. I don't know how old you have to be to do a night shift, but she's on tonight. She asks him for his name and location, and he just tells her where he is. He doesn't want to tell her his name.
He's also whispering.
He's whispering. He's like, just send someone quietly. May's like, why are you whispering? But then we go over to Josh, who is also on the phone asking someone, where are you right now? And the woman and her husband, who are inside the house, have also called 911 to report an intruder. And then they're going to send... that they want them to send the police. So May notices that the police have been dispatched, and she sort of jumps up and goes, hey, Josh, why have you sent police there to my broken leg?
Yeah, it's interesting because as Josh types in the address, it flags that RA units have already been dispatched. And as Josh is typing in that he needs police dispatched, it alerts on May's screen that
Yeah, that's a cool
LAPD
system.
has been dispatched. So May is questioning Josh, like, why have you just sent police to my, like, person that's fallen over? And he's like, why are you sending ambulances to my potential break and enter? And
So it doesn't take them long to work out what's going on.
Yes. It takes us a little bit longer, though, because we're going to cut back to Irvine Street and the scene where the 118, of course, have arrived. Chim and Hen immediately run over to check on the young man who was trying to break in, whose name is Connor, and we learn this because the woman who was calling 911 races out of the house as the ambulance gets there and screams his name.
Okay, so apparently this guy has a compound tib fib fracture to the right leg, so he's got bones sticking out.
Ew.
But he's still got blood flowing.
Which is good. So while Chim and Hen are working on Connor, the husband and wife start bickering with each other because Trish, who is the wife/mother of Connor, turns to her husband. We do get a name. I think it's like Harv or something. Where is it? Harv, yes, it's Harv.
Yeah.
Trish turns to Harv and says that this is all his fault. And Connor says that it is all his fault because he's the one who kicked Connor out of the house. And it was either he snuck back into the house or he slept in his car.
And suddenly everyone is, like, taking notice of what the conversation is. They're all like, oh, something's happening here. Like, mainly Buck and Eddie. They're just like, what's going on?
This is probably the most interesting thing that's happened all night for them.
Yeah.
The Harv, the father/husband, tells Connor that there were other options other than breaking in or sleeping in his car. He could, get a job, or he could pay them rent. Connor says that they don't need the rent because they're already rich. And Trish chimes in and tells her husband to stop being so hard on him. He's going through a quarter-life crisis, which is hilarious because Harv says that is an absolute load of, before I could say bullshit, Buck jumps in and says, oh no, that's a real thing. I've been through it. And Eddie just starts laughing.
Like, I think Buck's still going through it at this point.
He's so still going through it.
To be fair, I think Eddie also had a quarter-life crisis when he started joining fight clubs and so on. But anyway.
Yeah.
They have an argument about, not Eddie and Buck, the husband and wife have an argument about being the good cop and the bad cop. And
Eddie and Buck generally agree on parenting, so it's fine.
Yes. This is funny, though. It's the husband's like, you want to be the good cop, so you always make me the bad cop. I'm sick of it. And Chimney, who is like 2 weeks into being a parent, says, can't you both be the good cops? And every single person at the scene, including Buck, says simultaneously, no.
No.
Which Chim's like, what? I mean,
oh.
But like the tough love doesn't actually work, right? It just makes your kid hate you. And Hen's like, some kids need discipline. And Buck's like, but not too much.
Yeah, Eddie goes, I'm curious to know what your definition of too much discipline is.
So am I, actually. I mean, we know what his parents were like. Disciplining him would have meant that they had to pay attention to him.
Yeah, I was going to say, they didn't discipline him, they just ignored him.
Yeah, so I don't know where he's getting these ideas about discipline from. Interesting. But at this point, Athena has joined the party because of course she has. And Harv notices that she's arrived and demands that she arrest Connor as he's being loaded up into the ambulance.
Yeah, then we get Athena doesn't know that they're related. And Hen says, you want her to arrest your son? And Athena's like, they're related? So then we get the explainer of why, or basically what has happened. So he wouldn't leave. They tried to kick him out, but he wouldn't leave, and he was taking us for everything we got. I'm like, well, I don't think
that's
you
your
can
kid.
do that. But anyway, yeah.
Well, he wants Athena to arrest. He wants Athena to arrest the kid because it's breaching the restraining order that they had out on him. But Bobby says you might want to check this out first because he's been doing a little bit of sleuthing. Apparently, he's still in amateur detective mode.
Yeah.
And he has realised
He's going through their
that-
garbage. He's
I wouldn't have put it past him, but no, he's noticed that the bolts that were securing the trellis to the facade of the house, very, very clean breaks, almost like they were cut.
yeah. Apparently, the dad was just up there repairing it.
And the trellis was
It was
fine
fine
a
the
few
last
days
time
ago.
I broke in.
Right, and so the husband thinks that that's the gotcha moment. He's like, see, he just admitted to breaking in, and everyone else is going, sir, that's not what we're taking away from this situation. We're taking away that you've done something to the trellis to cause your kid to fall and break his legs.
Yeah, that's
like
kind of messed up, buddy.
Yes. And they're all mad at him, including his wife. And he turns to his wife and said, you have coddled Connor too long. You need to decide whose side you're on. He clearly is expecting her to side with him. He is 100% wrong, because the next cut we get is Trish jumping into the back of the ambulance with her kid and Athena leading Harv off in handcuffs.
Yeah, and she tells him not to bother coming back because she's going to change the locks. Bobby says to Athena, interesting parenting techniques. So we almost get a parenthood, but not quite.
Nearly.
Don't worry.
So just take half a drink.
At this point, I was kind of siding with Trish and really thought Harv was like going far too hard. The scene at the end of the episode, though, I'm revising my position on this, and I think that Harv had it right.
Yeah.
I don't think it was correct that he, there's a word that I'm looking for that I can't think of right now, where like he intentionally did something to the trellis to cause it to fall down.
Yeah.
But I think he had it in the right in like kicking the kid out, and that his mother is definitely coddling him.
I don't know how he got a restraining order, though, because...
Yeah, unless the kid was, like, being violent or something.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, I mean, the kid's not a kid. He's in his 20s, so he's a full-grown adult. I don't know. For the drama.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
We don't actually
honestly,
care.
I don't care.
No, we don't.
We go back to Maddie. And poor
Yes.
Chim, I feel for him in this moment. And Maddie, to be honest, because these early days of parenthood are rough as hell, especially when you have to go to work.
Especially when you're doing a 24-hour shift. So Chim's just worked 24 hours. He's walked into the apartment and Maddie literally throws Ji-yoon at him and then walks out because she has to now go start her shift. So even though Chim might have got some sleep in the firehouse, he now needs to stay awake all day to look after Ji-yoon and Albert.
This episode just was already bugging me at this point. But, like, Maddie's like, I'm running so late. And as soon as she hands Chim the baby, she leaves. I'm like, how are you running so late when, like, Chim just got home? You can't have left before Chim got home unless you were planning on doing handover in the lobby.
It was just for her throwing rapid fire instructions at him and then leaving before he acknowledged that he'd understood any of it.
Yeah.
Just to like really nail in the coffin of that he's so tired.
Yeah, so Chim's overwhelmed, but Maddie is back at work. 2 months.
But here's the thing.
After having a baby.
Like, she gets to work, and it's not like she gets straight to work either because there's a party. So she can't be
they're greeting her with
that
a party.
late.
And yeah, if she was late on her first day, they absolutely would not have cared. But, like, I totally understand being, like, anxious about being late, but, like... So, they have a cake, and because they didn't get a chance to throw her a shower, they've got, like, gift baskets, and one's for her and one's for the baby. The one for her has, like, cheese and booze and, that sort of thing, which is cute.
All the stuff that she couldn't eat while she was pregnant and probably still can't eat if she's breastfeeding.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's fine. Yeah.
And then they all start throwing advice at her since they couldn't give her a baby shower. And she's just standing there going, okay.
No, and I love Linda's advice. She's like, don't listen to anybody's advice, but I am about to give you advice that you do need to listen to.
Yeah.
Which is, don't listen to advice.
But her advice really is good advice. So if Maddie was going to listen to any advice, I would listen to Linda's, which is you can have it all, but you can't do it all. You need to get help. You need to delegate. Don't be a martyr. And Sue chimes in.
Agrees.
Yeah, it takes a village, so use your village.
And then Josh keeps it real and says, "Are you ready for this?" And Maddie's like, "No." I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised. It hasn't been that long.
Nope.
Yeah, 2 months. Far out.
And we get kind of the first inkling of the storyline that's going to happen in this episode, in that we've just had Linda and Sue reiterate, you need help. You need to ask for help. You need to let other people in. And when Josh starts talking about babysitting, even though he's like, I don't want to babysit, but, I will help you in any other way that you need. Maddie very confidently says, no, it's fine. Chimney's got it. Chimney does not, in fact,
he doesn't have
it. No. It is chaos.
So he reminds Albert, he asks Albert if he took his medicine, and Albert's like, oh, no, I forgot. So Chim gets the medicine. Then,
but while he's trying to make sure that Albert is taking his medication, he's trying to make lunch either for himself or for Albert, and he also has a bottle on the bottle warmer so that he can feed Ji-yoon.
Yeah,
all at the same time.
The bottle warmer, he tries to pull it out and burns himself, and I'm pretty sure those bottle warmer things are only warm water to warm. You can't burn yourself on it. Because
if there isn't. Could you imagine, that's the plastic cap that's going over the top of the teat. Can you imagine how hot the teat is?
Yeah.
And how hot the milk inside the bottle is if, Chimney's burning himself on the outside?
Yeah, I mean, it's designed to just warm it up a little bit so that there's no possibility of burning the baby. So you're definitely not going to burn yourself on it. So I don't know what they were thinking with this. But anyway, for the drama, he burns himself on the bottle warmer.
So whoever wrote this episode, which I think is Lindsay's got her name to it, does not know what mummy content creation is like in the 2020s, and also has never used a bottle warmer before. I had a bottle warmer, but it was just this machine you poured water in the bottom of it, and it just produced steam. And then it would steam until it got to a certain temperature, and then it would let you know that it reached that temperature. And then I think at that point it switches itself off, so it won't exceed that temperature.
Right.
But anyway, that's not the important point of this scene. The important point of the scene is that Chim is juggling so many balls at this point that he's completely overwhelmed. And
he's
then
dropped them all. Yeah.
There's a knock on the door, and that just. All the balls go flying because that he is not capable of handling yet another ball being thrown at him. And neither he nor Albert were expecting anybody. But it turns out it's Mrs. Lee.
Yay. It's nice to see Mrs. Lee again.
Or Anne. Chimney's still not quite comfortable with calling her Anne.
Which is
meanwhile,
so cute.
Albert from the lounge room just goes, "Hey, Anne," because he was not raised by Mrs. Lee.
Exactly. It's quite hilarious, the different relationship that the Hahn brothers have with Mrs. Lee and the level of comfort.
So cute.
Because Albert's met her as an adult, so he's quite happy to communicate with her on an adult level, whereas Chim's a little bit more respectful of her. So Anne comes in and she immediately just tries to take over. Not in a bad way, but she can clearly see that Chim is struggling way, yeah. And she wants to help. She's like, I'll take the crying baby. I'll give her the bottle. You two eat.
Yeah, so she's brought soup, which is lovely. Chimney is very grateful for the soup, but is yeah, you weren't just in the neighbourhood, were you? Did Maddie ask you to come check in on me? And Mrs. Lee's like, you're so suspicious. Maddie asked me the same question when I called her yesterday. It's yeah, so she was checking in, but she just, in a good way.
Yeah, she just wants to see if they need any help. Chim immediately brushes her off. She's like, you know what, we're fine, and we've got it all under control. Albert looks at him like he's suddenly grown a second head and gone, what are you talking about? We absolutely need help. Hey, Anne, do you mind taking me to my therapy session so that Howie doesn't have to later this afternoon? Yes, Albert. Use that village.
Yeah. Then Chimney's just like, oh my God, you remembered your appointment. That's great. And Albert's like, no, I can just read, because he's standing right next to the calendar. But yeah, the calendar on the fridge is chaotic.
Yeah, because Chim and Maddie are working opposite shifts at the moment, which is not sustainable. I don't know why they ever thought that they would be able to handle doing it that way, but...
Because they had no idea. Nobody ever has any idea before you go into it.
No. I remember one of my friends, her and her husband worked from home, and they were like, oh, like, when we go back to work, it'll be fine. Like, we'll just have the baby, and he'll go to daycare 2 days a week, and then the 3 days, like, it'll be fine. Because I'm part-time, so I'll only have to look after him 2 days a week. And yeah, no, he's at daycare 5 days a week now. It literally lasted like 2 weeks, and they were like, yep, daycare, bye.
Oh, it's impossible to work at home when the kids are at home, believe me.
Yeah. Especially at this age. Like,
yeah.
Yes, Ji-yoon would be sleeping a lot, assuming she is a good sleeper, which I don't think she is, considering Maddie is constantly saying, I try to put her down, she starts crying. But that sleep only lasts for a couple of hours, and then you've got a baby that you can't just leave somewhere while you're working to entertain themselves.
And, like, you don't know when they're going to wake up either. Nope. Like, it's not like they have, like, great sleeping hygiene, so it's not like you're like, okay, I'll put a 2-month-old down at like 10 a.m. and it'll sleep until 4 p.m. when I'm done with work. Like, no, that's not how it works.
Oh, or they might, but then they're going to be up from like
They'll be up
4 p.m. until like 3 a.m. and you're not going to be able to do anything.
Yes.
So yes, the schedule, but that between Maddie's shifts, Chim's shifts, probably Ji-yoon's appointments and Albert's appointments is chaotic. And Chim acknowledges this when Anne walks around to take a look at it, and he says, like, I know it looks crazy, but we're making it work. We want to make sure we don't lose a second with Ji-yoon, and we're not willing to leave her with strangers. I think he means, like, in his head, he's talking about putting her in daycare.
Yeah, like, I don't think, like, they don't want to get a nanny daycare, like, or use childcare.
Anne takes it personally.
Anne's like, oh, well, I'm a stranger to the baby, so that's and he's just like, no, come back.
And she, like, literally yeets the baby at him, grabs Albert, and books it out of there.
Yeah.
No, it's sad that she assumes that she's the stranger. It's like, no, like, you're the, you know, stepping up grandmother, you know, like.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think I think we've seen it through the series, is that she's always very reluctant to take a large role in Chimney's life because she feels that she'd be, like, overstepping his own mother. Yeah. She doesn't want to diminish her, even though, like, she is the one that is actually there. And I don't think Chim would mind either.
No, so, like, remember that, like, Mrs. Lee and Chimney's mother were best friends. Yes. And so I feel like Mrs. Lee definitely doesn't want to replace Chimney's mother. And so she's very, she's very aware of that because she already, like, helped raise Chim after his mother died. And so, yeah, she's definitely got that in the back of her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chimney's just so tired, he just doesn't know what he's saying at this point.
Yeah.
Literally, he's delirious. He's like, no, come back, please, just
please.
take the baby.
Because, yeah, as soon as she hands the baby over, Ji-yoon starts crying again, and so Chimney is suddenly left in this apartment with, like, he hasn't had anything to eat. Albert's gone, at least, but he's been left with a crying baby. He's like, no, Anne, please.
Aww.
Somebody help me.
Oh, boy. Okay. We cut to the Wilson household where Hen is torturing herself by sitting in the bedroom that had become Nia's, which is like wall-to-ceiling pink, she's sitting on her very pink bed, clutching one of Nia's stuffies. And Tony has decided to make an appearance out of the kitchen. They've let her out of the kitchen where they've, like, chained her to the stove. And she comes in.
She sleeps on the, like, in the pantry.
Yeah, we were wondering where she was sleeping the other week.
Yeah, in the kitchen. She isn't allowed to leave. She comes in to console her child because, like, this is her daughter. And her daughter is sad because she had to give up, quote unquote, her own daughter. Which I think Hen even says, like, she misses her. She loved Mia Nia. That's an N. She loved Nia like she was Hen's own, and she's mourning the fact that a year from now, Nia isn't going to even remember who Hen is.
Yeah, that's definitely hard.
Yeah, Tony does assure her that she might not be able to remember specific things, but she'll remember that you made her feel loved and protected and safe.
Yes.
So they have a hug, and Hen just bursts into tears, and it's really sad.
Yeah,
but
very sad.
Cathartic, potentially, for Hen.
Yes.
So that's a short scene. We go to the Bethina household, and Athena is clearing up after dinner, and apparently the kids are going to Michael's place to help him with his spying out the window. So we'll just forever associate Michael's place with that now. May asks Harry if he can pass her phone because it's on the table. But as Harry hands it to her, he just looks at it.
Oh, it's ridiculous. The phone is face down on the table. He picks it up and, yes, I know that there is settings in a phone that as soon as the phone goes face up, the screen, turns back on. But it turns back on and immediately opens to Instagram.
Yeah.
What? There's no lock screen. There's no homepage. It's just immediately flip to turn on to Instagram.
As if any teenage girl would just have their phone unlocked.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't get to be mad about it if you don't have your phone locked. So not only
do the writers or the people on this episode not know how mummy blogging works in the 2020s, how baby bottle warmers work, they already didn't know how phones work from the last episode that I went off on how bad their idea of how technology works, or you guys went off on my behalf on how bad technology is. But it's still, they have not learned from their mistakes. But it is for the drama because then Harry reports that Layla liked one of May's Instagram posts, which then brings to Athena's attention that May and Layla are back in contact.
Oh, and Athena gets really cross about this. Why are you talking to her? And May said she reached out a couple of weeks ago to apologise. And Athena's like, you told her to go to hell, right?
May's like, no, we went and got coffee.
Yeah. And this is not what Athena wants to hear.
Not at all.
Oh, it's so hard as a parent, though, holding grudges on behalf of your children.
Yeah.
Oh, literally, Mum holds grudges on people worse than I do.
Yes.
I'll mention someone and she'll be like, oh my God, remember when they did this thing? And I've totally forgot about it.
There are so many kids that I, hate to my core because they have done something to wrong my child, and my child will still be playing with them and talking to them and being friends with them, and I'm just sitting here do you remember when they did this?
Yeah.
And it's not even to the point of driving my child to a suicide attempt. It's
no.
It's something completely stupid, they tore up a Pokemon card or something, and made my kid cry. But yes, parents, we hold on to grudges.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, Athena does take this to, I don't want to say the extreme, but she yells at May about it.
To be fair, I think Athena is slightly traumatized.
Oh,
over,
yeah.
very,
100%.
Very traumatized.
Having to call 911 and perform CPR on her daughter.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, well, she's been triggered 100%... majorly.
Yes.
She just goes off about, now she's your friend again? What are you doing? You can't let her back into your head again. And May's trying to tell her that they both changed and she's giving her a second chance. Eventually May just storms out, and that's the end of that scene.
Yeah, what was really interesting is that when May questions why Athena is reacting like this, Athena yells, because the last time you were friends with that girl, you tried to kill herself. And Harry's like, wait, what?
Yeah, Harry had no idea. Poor Harry has also just been traumatized here.
Oh.
Because if we think back to, Harry was there when it happened, but Athena just told him that May was sick. I think this is the first time that he's realised exactly the level of quote-unquote sick that May was. Yeah. What actually happened that afternoon. Yeah. But as this show does. We're going to trauma dump and then we're going to cut to commercial and we're not going to come back to it. So poor Harry. So yes, we're going to go commercial. We're going to come back from commercial at a residential house where Chim and Hen have been dispatched because there was a call for an overdose. Except the woman who answers the door does not appear to be in any hurry. She seems confused as to why LAFD are there, and she has no idea what they are talking about. Until Hen tells her that the call came from this address from an Ellen Saxton, who turns out to be the woman who answered the door. That's her mother. So everyone goes rushing into the house, and we discover that Ellen, who I am going to be calling like Davida Wallace, because that's entirely what this entire scene is an elderly woman who is suffering from late stages of cancer. It has reached her brain, and she's done. She wants out. She's OD'd on her medication, and she wants them to let her go.
Yeah, they sort of, when she reveals this, like, we can go through this scene fairly quickly because a lot of it's just repetitive and really, really freaking sad. So
it's just really sad.
I
really made the mistake of watching this the day before visiting my grandparents in the nursing home, and I was just like, not happy with this. And
Unfortunately, I recognised what was going on. Like, they were David Wallacing us, and just my emotional centre of my brain just shut down and went, yep, nope. I see the tricks. I know what you're doing, and now you have lost me. They have no effect on me.
Your evil spells have no effect on me. When she reveals that she's taken something and it's too much, Chim and Hen kind of rush into action and try and work out what she's taken and everything. And she gestures at her.
She's like, not telling.
No, she's like, I'm not telling you. And also, you can't do anything because I've got this bit of paper here that says that I don't want to be treated. So basically, they can't do anything. And they're like, well, why did you call 911 if you didn't want help? And she actually called them so that they would be there with her daughter because she didn't want her to be alone when it all happened. Which is kind of really sweet, but also very sad.
Very sad. Interestingly, my favourite medical show, The Pit, kind of covered a situation like this where they had a patient who had an advance directive and a DNR. Except once he went unconscious, his kids overruled his DNR. And the hospital had to follow the kids' wishes because they were kind of his... they had like power of attorney and like power of medical.
Yeah, the medical decision. Yeah.
So even though the father had made the wishes, like, I don't want to be resuscitated, I don't want to be put on machines to extend my life, the kids went, no, you're going to put him on the machines because that's what we want.
Yeah, I was going to say, this
wants.
is the brother and sister and the old man? Yeah, yes. It was hard.
Yeah, so apparently the takeaway is you can have all the DNRs and all of the advanced directives you want, but once you lose consciousness, they mean nothing. And whoever is in your care can overrule you.
Damn.
Luckily, that doesn't happen in this episode, though. But it can happen. So just something.
No, instead we get the David Wallacing aforementioned, where we have to the landslide.
Oh yeah, they break out the Fleetwood Mac,
which is just such a sad song in the first place. But then there's a montage.
Basically, the mother's like, yeah, you gave up your entire life to take care of me. Now it's time for me to give it back. I'm not leaving you. I'm setting you free. When you have your own kids, you'll understand. And this is the last thing I can do for you, so let me. Then the montage shows like a whole bunch of the daughter when she was little. Like asking if there were monsters under the bed.
It's basically little snippets of their life together to show what a the mother-daughter relationship and the highs and the lows, but the fact is that they were always there for each other. Probably the only big takeaway from this is that the very first scene with the little girl is that she is shown to be playing with a locket that her mother is wearing. And that comes back into play at the end of the episode. But it's just like,
we don't even see what's in the locket. It's literally just a locket.
It's just a locket that she's wearing, yeah.
Yeah. Like, it could be any piece of jewellery, but no, it's a mystery locket.
Yeah. Mother-daughter relationship, highs and lows, ups and downs, but they love each other to the end. Landslides playing, so sad. I couldn't care less. I know we went through that last time. And by the time we get to the end of the montage, the mother is dead.
So they check, she's not breathing. Chim goes to call it in. Julia's like, what do I do now? Hen says, take her with you, and I assume she means, like, spiritually. Not like
pick her up and take her with you.
Like,
that's
fold her up
grim,
and put her in your suitcase.
It was a very weird phrase. Like, we cut back and, like, she's, like, just watching TV with the mum, like, dead in the armchair. Like...
She Norman Bates her.
Yes, literally. What, wasn't it just last week?
Yes, we were talking about Norman Bates. Yeah.
Good, excellent. Yeah, so Linda's brother comes around and shows her how to...
No, definitely spiritually. Remember her and move on.
Yeah, it's a very weird phrasing.
It is weird phrasing.
It is. And that's it. That's literally the entire sequence. It was just to toy with our emotions, and it, for me anyway, it failed dismally. I don't think it's ever worked. And this show makes me cry. Like, there are parts of this series that no matter how many times I watch it, I will cry. This episode's not one of them.
No.
Yeah. I'm sure if you'd been in a similar watching someone fade away situation, then maybe it might have tugged on a few extra heartstrings, but yeah.
No, if you're telling a story, you shouldn't just be catering to the people who have had the experience that you're telling on screen. You need to make everybody in the audience feel it.
Yeah, and we don't know this person.
Yeah, like, my wife hasn't been hit by a car on a pedestrian crossing and died, but that doesn't mean I didn't cry like a baby when Shannon died.
I have never had a fire engine fall onto my ankle and then have an entire city rush to lift a fire truck off said ankle.
You haven't? What have you been doing with your life?
Funnily enough, no. But that makes me bawl like a baby every time I watch that
Every
scene.
fucking time. Oh my God. I'm like, I'm going to be fine this time. It's just fictional people lifting. Then the whole city comes to lift it. And I'm like, oh my God.
See, if you're telling a story,
such a community.
You need to connect to everybody. And if you're only connecting to the people who can actually literally relate to what's happening on the screen, you have failed as a storyteller.
I'm just trying to stick up for Lindsay, all right?
Nah, fuck Lindsay in this episode. Which is a pity, because I think the last episode that we saw from Lindsay was the, although interesting, I think it was Rage, which was
she also did Powerless.
Okay, but see, they're not so bad.
Do you remember Powerless?
I remember being hit over the head with everyone being powerless. But, you know, in the grand scale of Powerless versus, like, Calm as a Bitch, it wasn't horrible.
Rage was also very bash you over the head with,
Okay, so she's not subtle. No. But at least...
or entertaining. Anyway... Sorry, Lindsay. We know you're listening to this. Just be a little bit more entertaining, please. Just, like, something. We're just bored and we're very tired. My original... Like, I'd like to blame this on the fact that we've all had a really tough week, but I went back because I was like, there's got to be something I liked about this episode. Like, I wrote notes. The first time I watched the episodes through, I wrote notes so that I wouldn't be, like, so I knew when I was surprised and, like, you know, so, like, the episode where Bobby went into the tunnel and it was radioactive and, like, all the stuff happened. The first time I watched that, I was really tense. The second time, I did not care because I knew what happened. But the first time I was like, oh my God, like I was so tense. It was great. And so I had the original notes where I was like, oh, I did actually care about this the first time. I went back to look at the notes for this episode and I had 2 notes written.
Yeah, and one of them you can't even remember what the note is for.
Can't even remember what the note was for. Normally I have like a page of notes. This had 2 sentences.
Yeah.
And one of them was just, what the fuck, maternity leave in America is 2 months. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this, okay, so we didn't quite hit the mark with a lot of the emotional beats in this episode, but let's keep going, shall we?
Let's see if it gets any better. Spoiler alert, it's not, but let's keep going.
We're at the Athena residence. We don't even get any cute Bobby Athena moments.
This Bobby Athena moment is so weird because you've got Athena sitting on the bench, like the patio bench, and then Bobby drags a chair over and sits like 3 feet away from her, opposite her on the chair. And I'm like, dude, if you're trying to comfort her, why aren't you sitting next to her? That's your wife.
They're like co-workers rather than what? Like, yeah, literally.
He's treating
like,
her.
Give her a hug. Like, you knew her when this happened. Like, yes, you weren't there, but you knew her when, like, May was going through all this shit. Like, I'm sure she's spoken to you about it. Like, give her some comfort. Like, sit next to her. Be, like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
So the point
Everyone in this episode just acts like roommates.
The point of the scene is that Athena is desperately trying to get in touch with May, and May keeps sending her to voicemail. So Bobby comes out to talk to her. The other issue that I have with this scene is that Bobby is trying to, like, reassure Athena that, you know, May is all grown up and that the behavior that she was exhibiting at the time, like 3 whole years ago, 4 years? I can't even remember. There's so many time jumps in this series. Is on par for a teenager. And the whole time, this is going to sound terrible, the whole time I'm thinking, Bobby, what do you know about teenagers? Your kids died before they got there.
Oh, no.
Like, you never raised a teenager. How do you know how teenagers act? And it's horrible. But that's literally what I'm thinking.
Oh, that is horrible. But he also tells her that you don't agree with May's decisions very often. But she's grown up now, so you don't have to like what she does, but you, like, you know, they're her choices.
I don't know. It was weird. The only good part of this entire, like, they have this like 30-minute conversation in a 42-minute episode. Like, I don't know how they had the time.
No, honestly, I feel like
of the dead mother.
I feel like they just didn't have enough content for this episode, so they just made all the scenes way longer than they needed to be.
Yeah, but anyway. The only good part is that Bobby at the end. So Athena says that, you know, she thought it was because of her and Michael splitting up, but it was something that she had absolutely no clue about. And Bobby's like, yeah, you have to forgive yourself. Do you know how many suicide calls I've been on when no one had any idea? You can't take on that kind of blame.
Yeah, that's hard, yeah.
And, like, that's the only, like, I'm just like, yeah, like, that, it's true. Like, people are really good at hiding it.
Yeah, but then they ruin that message because then Athena goes, no, but I'm her mother. I should have known. I missed it.
Yeah, like, I ignored that because Athena's an idiot.
You've just completely negated Bobby's message.
Shh, I like Bobby more. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so then we go back to the Wilson household.
Oh, good Lord.
Where Karen has, like, despite being the voice of reason the last, like, 3 episodes, hired a PI
She's
to
like,
find Nia's birth
she goes,
mother?
I think I did a bad thing. And I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. What has she done?
It's like, ultimately good, but still
ultimately
bad.
good.
No, not ultimately good.
No, it's just bad.
It's
Like,
not a
what?
good idea. Just,
And, like, Karen was the voice of reason this whole... oh
just
my fucking God.
let the fucking department do their job.
So they go to a nursing home. So Karen says that she hired a PI, she found Nia's birth mother. They go to a nursing home and stalk her.
Yes.
She works at the nursing home as a nurse's aide. Even Hen is just like, how did you find her? It's like, you just drove from your house to the thing and that never came up? Like, did you sit in silence the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh my
Awkward.
God.
But, it's so dumb. Like, so dumb.
So Karen's logic was that the not knowing whether Nia was safe or not was killing her, and it was quite clearly killing Hen. So she had to know that Nia was okay. And here's the thing: if you're going to enter the foster system as foster parents, and you've got Deirdre telling you that everything is okay, you have to trust.
Yeah.
You have to trust them.
Yes.
You have to trust that DCFS is doing the right thing. I know that outside of 911, DCFS fuck up all the time, and that kids get returned to situations that they should not be returned to. But that is not what is going on in this episode, and that is not the message that you want to be sending people.
Yeah.
No, not at all. So basically, they also absolutely glamorize Nia's mother. So she was a single mum. She struggled to make ends meet. She got evicted. She was living in her car. People saw her. They called child services, who placed her with Hen and Karen temporarily. That was January, and then the pandemic hit. So she couldn't get her life back together until recently.
And so they've decided that after finding out about Nia's backstory and then stalking Nia's birth mother and learning that she's a good, conscientious worker, and that everybody loves her, and that she goes to...
She never had any problems. She just got evicted. Like, she was a single... Okay, sure.
There's a daycare down the street from the facility that she works at. She goes every lunch hour to eat with Nia. They decide that Nia is going to be okay, and that they're not going to do anything else. And I just kept thinking, what if...
what were you going to do? Like, what were you willing to do?
Yeah, I know the storyline that they were telling in this episode is, like, this is the storyline and they were never going to go the other way. But I just kept thinking of the what if. What if you decided after doing all this investigation that you didn't agree and that you still thought, like, what if they went, oh, she's in daycare 5 days a week? We would never put her in daycare. We kept her at home. She always had somebody at home. We don't think that that's good enough for Nia, so we're going to launch legal action to get her back. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's a very weird storyline.
It's fucking stupid. I'm mad at this whole storyline. A lot of people are mad at the whole storyline like this. It's
and also,
stupid.
Just to, like, make matters worse, like you said, Karen has been the voice of reason the entire time. So why did they make her jump off the deep end in this episode?
Yeah.
It would make sense if Hen had gone, like, completely over the top. And hired the private investigator. Because, like, she's already spiraling, so it would just, like, add another level to her spiral. But now she's dragged Karen into her spiraling.
She probably just would have asked Bobby to do it.
Bobby and Michael would have found her.
Bobby and Michael would have worked it out. He just looked through his telescope.
But yeah, and also because she's just a normal person who fell on hard times, like, that makes her worthy of having her baby back. Like,
yes.
Oh my god, there's so much that I could be like, ugh.
And then because they deemed that this was a good resolution, that this woman, like, truly deserved to have her, her child back, they've gone, okay, maybe we can continue to foster.
Yeah.
Like, no.
That is a
not
weird
at
decision.
all.
Absolutely.
No. Because addiction happens. Shit like that happens. That's, like, ugh, it just makes me so mad.
Imagine if Deirdre had found out that they'd done this. Like...
Oh, if Deirdre had found out, they would have immediately been scrubbed from the program.
Yep.
They would not be allowed near.
They probably would have also been, like, charged or something, surely.
Oh, stalking. Well, they probably would have gone to the to Evangeline.
Also, I just don't know. Like, I could be wrong, but, like, I know that CPS, like, obviously there's not enough foster homes for the amount of kids that they have, right?
Mm.
And reunification is the main goal.
Mm.
Generally, as long as the kid is fed and clothed, like, if they're living in their car and someone called CPS will usually be like, okay, we'll try and get you into a shelter or a home.
Yeah, the best place is still with their parent if their parent is not abusing them, basically.
Because especially, like, a toddler, it's so traumatic to take them away from their parent. And it's also really bad for the parent. Yeah. And so they would try and keep them together. And so
I don't know enough about how DCFS operates in California, because I'm guessing it's going to differ depending on what resources
this state
are available.
But yeah, because I'm like, honestly, I'm basing this off what I've seen from Teen Mum. But so many of those kids like are, you know, not in great places, and they get Child Protective Services called on them, and they're like, well, they're fed and and clothed, so
yeah, there's a level of privilege that's been brought in here, where they're like, oh, you're living out of your car, that's not acceptable.
Yeah. But instead of finding her somewhere to live, they were just like, oh, well, we're going to take your baby away because you got evicted. It's like, that's not right.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know how it works in California, or whether that is something that the system does in California. If you know how the system works in California, I don't actually care. Don't tell me.
Yeah, look,
I hate this storyline, and
we just think that Nia should have been with her mother. Like, help her mother out. Don't just leave her for dead and take her baby away. Jesus Christ. And Karen, why the fuck are you hiring a PA to find a toddler?
PI.
A PI.
They've got a PA. That's Tony.
Personal assistant. Why are you hiring a PI to find this poor child who you've known? You're like, oh my God, it just shits me.
Yeah.
Ugh. Now we get to May, who's bitching to her dad as much as we're bitching about this episode.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're back at Michael's house. Bex, did you want to talk about your note, or you're just skipping over because you don't care?
Just saw the note, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I'm like waiting for you to jump in, and I was like, I don't think she cares.
I did notice the hotel writing on the side of it, but
it
I
was just in caps. I was like waiting for her to jump in.
I mean, if anybody is interested, like, I don't care at this point, but when you look through the windows of Michael's apartment, you can see the signs for the Hotel Cecil, which has a very sordid history in Californian history. It is not called the Hotel Cecil anymore. It's called the Stay on Main. It's now low-income housing, not a hotel anymore. But and it's now apparently like a heritage listed. I think for the architecture, not for the fact that a serial killer or possibly multiple serial killers lived on the premises, operated out of the premises, and the most recent sort of infamous part of the history of the Hotel Cecil is the disappearance and subsequent death of Elisa Lam on the premises, which brought the elevator game internet legend into the general consciousness.
Oh, the elevator game. Is there... I just wish I could learn more about the elevator game.
Story
by reading a choose your own adventure fan fiction with Dean Winchester and Castiel the Angel.
Surely there must exist some story like that.
If only someone would write that.
If only.
So yeah, if you want to know more about the elevator game, go to Archive of Our Own and find the Choose Your Own Adventure Destiel fic by one Bex, who also hosts this podcast.
Yes, indeed. And wouldn't that have been a different episode the other week if Michael had stumbled onto a serial killer instead of
or the elevator game, and ended up in an alternate dimension with Dean and Cass making out, because
who wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah, so May's bitching at Michael about her mother. She's tired of always fighting with her. Michael's just like, yep, sure, he's basically taking as much interest in this storyline as we are. Michael says that he doesn't blame Athena. May's like, you didn't act like a lunatic. And Michael's like, well, I wasn't the one that found you. Like, basically, Athena thought May was dead. They were scared.
The line from Michael is that, by the time I got there at the hospital, you were alive. And May's like, exactly. That's exactly my point. Thank you. And Michael goes, except when Athena found you, you weren't alive.
Yeah, you were dead. You weren't breathing.
She thought you were dead, and you were dead from her pills, which I told her to throw out. And May's like, wait, you blamed Mum as well?
Michael says he didn't blame her, but they both said a lot of things because they were scared. They are past it now, but like Athena's not made of steel.
Yeah.
And he also, then he says, you know, I'll never know what she went through when she found you, and I'm kind of grateful that I never will. So naturally, May goes to work and is like, I wonder what Mum went through when I died.
Yep. And so she pulls up the archive record of Athena's 911 call.
Oh, this is just awful to listen to.
And
it goes on and on forever.
It goes on and on. It's different to the one that we heard as well, which is interesting.
It's far longer, and they've made changes to it. I considered for a second going back and finding that episode to comparing what we heard in that episode to what this 911 call consists of. Could not find it, could not care to dig harder. So, yes.
I think it has been 4 years because she was 14. Okay. And she's now 18-ish.
But she goes through all of this chat, like telling the 911, like just talking about, oh, her heart's beating, I feel she's not breathing, blah, blah. And then after all of that, the dispatcher actually says, where is your location? You know, after like several minutes, it feels like. It's just a weird call in general.
It's not a good 911 call.
No. Yeah, and considering Athena's, like, I know, especially in season 1, I know they were showing the difference between, like, on-duty Athena versus Mother Athena.
And I think we discussed that, the fact that this was Athena the mother freaking out, not Sergeant Athena being professional.
Yeah. But it's still, like, I don't know, it's still weird. Like, maybe I'm just the type of person that can compartmentalize. Because, like, I, just before New Year's, I had to call the ambulance on my mum who wasn't breathing. And, like, she was barely breathing, I should say. And I was just like, yep, cool, this is my address, this is what's happening. I'll stay on the line till the ambulance came. And I was like, Mum, like, get it together, just breathe, what are you doing? And then as soon as she was, like, as soon as I got home, and, like, I'm texting my friends, like, oh my fucking God. Then as soon as I got home, I broke down, and I was just like, oh my fucking God. But, like, there was no point doing that in the moment, because I had to get through it.
Yeah. But that doesn't make good television. And I think the point, I'm pretty certain that the point of that episode was showing the difference between on duty and off duty.
Yeah.
Because that was the end of the episode with Abby.
To be fair, when the first time my dog had a seizure, I did panic and call his breeder immediately. But I also don't have training in what to do when it's a seizure.
But I guess the point of this, like, overly dramatic 911 call from May's perspective is that, as you said, she can hear what her mother went through.
Yeah, and can hear that she didn't just go into cop mode and go, oh, we're doing the thing, which wouldn't have had the effects that...
Yeah, May's constantly, like, increasing the volume of the call so that she can hear Athena not talking into the phone but talking to 14-year-old May and, like, begging May to wake up, to stay with her, that Athena is with her and she will get you through it. Just don't leave. And as May is
begging.
listening...
She's literally like, please don't leave me. Like,
as May is listening to this, as she's realising what she put her mother through, she's, like, crying at her station. Funnily enough, neither Josh nor Sue realise what is going on. And those two usually have a radar for, like, weird drama shit going on.
They're like, oh, the teenager's crying again. Just leave her alone. I just gotta say, too, like, I love May as a character. Love her. Like, wasn't so keen on her when she was 14 and angsty, but, like, love May as a character. Like, adore her. Love every episode. Like, love when she's in episodes. So the fact that I didn't care about this storyline says something. Because I just did not care. I was just like, yeah, cool, she died. Like, she's fine now. She got better. It's all good.
It's mum-daughter drama.
She got better.
She got... Exactly, thank you. I'm glad.
I'm better now. I got better.
Anyway, so we go back to the Maddie apartment. Like, I want to care about Maddie. I just, like, I like the fact that
I thought this bit was funny, though.
Oh, this is cute, because Maddie comes home and Chimney is standing by the changing table. And Maddie thinks that's adorable. Like, oh, you're changing her. How cute is that? And Chim just doesn't
But, like,
respond.
also, what did she think he just wasn't going to change her for the 12 hours she was at work?
Who knows? I don't know. But when Chim doesn't respond, she walks over to check on him, and the changing table is right next to a support wall, a support beam or something, like this weird, like, partial wall in the middle of the living room, and Chim is propped up against it, fast asleep.
Yeah, and the
on his
baby's
feet.
just lying there on the table staring at him.
Literally, oh my God.
How long has he been asleep for?
I don't know exact ages. But when do babies learn to roll?
No,
Not yet.
that's not for
She's
a while.
not going to roll
yeah.
yet.
but still, like, she would
She's
have...
fine.
It's still dangerous, right? Surely you can't just leave a baby on a change table. Like, what if... Oh, my God, it freaked me out. I'm not
at
even
2
a mother,
months,
and I
she's
was like,
fine.
no.
Fine, yeah,
she's
it's
not
fine. But
going
the
anywhere.
more to the point is, how long is a baby going to lie there for without making a noise? Like, without crying and waking him up? Like, how long has he been asleep for?
I'm assuming that it's a micro nap. That,
Yeah,
like, he's
it must be,
literally
yeah.
just fallen asleep.
Yeah, Maddie says that yesterday she fell asleep while holding the baby on the toilet. So that is kind of funny.
Yeah.
This is why I prefer puppies. When you go to the toilet, you put them in a crate. You go to the toilet, then you come back and you're like, oh, good, you're still in the crate.
I mean, you can kind of do that with babies too. You put them in their crib or you put them in a bouncer.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, you can even drag the bouncer into the bathroom with you if you need to. But
Yeah.
But the point is that they finally realised that their schedule is unsustainable and they might need some help. Although, interestingly, of all of the different ways to get help, their choice is to kick Albert out.
Yeah, I originally thought they were going to ask Anne to stay with them as well. I'm like, okay, I know you've got in a small apartment, but, you know, having her over to help would be fine. But no, they've kicked Albert out to go and live with Mr. and Mrs.
Mr. and Mrs.
Lee,
Lee,
yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, thanks. I know it's a lot to ask, but he's like, Albert can stay with us as long as he likes. Like, wow.
Like, I know that having Albert there is an extra, quote-unquote, burden on them because it's an extra person they have to take care of. But for the most part, it's Ji-yoon that they need help with.
Yeah.
Not Albert.
Yeah, because, like, they can't... like, so Chimney does 24-hour shifts. Maddie does 12-hour shifts. When Chim gets home from the 24, he needs to sleep. When Maddie gets home from the 12, she needs to sleep. But they're doing back to, like, opposite shifts.
Yeah.
So neither of them are sleeping.
Yep. It would make more sense for Anne to come in and, like, cover that first 12 hours when Maddie's at work. So that when Maddie comes home, like, Chim has slept, the house is a little bit tidied, and she can rest while Chim then takes over for the baby. It just makes no sense for Albert to be the
No.
Yeah, anyway, Albert's a burden. They're kicking him out.
Yep.
But John's kind of excited because life's pretty boring when you're retired.
So that's what you need, another kid in the house.
And then...
after you've just got rid of them.
Yeah. So Chim goes to grab Albert's medications and hands Ji-yoon to Mrs. Lee, and he goes, okay, Grandma's going to hold you while Daddy goes to pack. And Mrs. Lee's like, I'm not, your mother? And Chim's just like, yep, would be so grateful to you that you took in her kid after she was gone, loved him, loved me, you finished the job she started, and I'm not sure if I ever said thank you for that. And was literally just like, yeet, have the baby, bye.
Your grandma now. But she's
You
happy
are
about
grandma
it.
now.
She goes, don't worry, Grandma's got you. It's cute.
Yes.
It's sweet, because, like, obviously she doesn't have a son, her son anymore for that.
Yes.
So now it's just like, well, you've got a family now. Sucked in, Mrs. Lee.
Congratulations.
But that's sweet.
That's
the
cute. I
sweet
like
part.
this that scene is the only good part about this episode.
Yes. So
That's
then
that whole episode could have been that scene and I would have been happy.
we've got to get through the final montage though. So we're going to get a montage
fine.
talking about parenthood and being a parent. Apparently the whole theme of this episode is letting go.
Pretty sure it was Parenthood.
Because
but
that's what
sure.
Hen says with her opening monologue is, being a parent is a process of letting go. As we get the monologue and all of the different montage of the different parents that we've met throughout the episode, our needle drop is going to be Salisbury Hill by Peter Gabriel, which according to Wikipedia is a song about letting go.
Who'd have thought? Even the music director had signed out of this episode and literally just Googled songs about letting go and was like, that'll fucking do.
What are the songs that are going to tug at everyone's heartstrings? Oh, I know, Fleetwood Mac and Peter Gabriel. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
I just Googled, like, I was curious and just Googled songs about letting go, and I love that the second suggestion is Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. I just don't think it would have hit the same.
No, probably not.
Oh.
Yeah, I Can Breathe
Also,
for the first
never...
time. Yeah, okay, that's not
Also,
really...
We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, which I also just don't know if it would have...
not quite the right tone.
Would have hit the same. Yeah.
No.
But anyway, Karen... I just did it now. Hen and Karen.
See?
Ken and Karen.
Karen and Hen ask
Should
Denny.
we just call them Henren? Let's just...
Henren.
Yeah,
Henren. They decide that they're going to ask Denny what he wants to do. They're going to delegate their decision-making to their son. And
maybe they should have done that before they started fostering?
Maybe they did, and I don't know. Who knows? Anyway.
I don't know. He was a year younger then, too. It's like forever in children years.
And then May gets home and Athena goes to apologise, but May just gives her a big hug.
Oh, yeah, her body tackles her. Like, yeah. I'm so sorry I put you through all that.
And so they're okay now.
Then we go back to Bryson in the hospital with his mother, who I'd forgotten about her at this point. We haven't even been talking that long, and I totally forgot that Bryson and Supermum Beth existed.
I think the only reason that they get that is the line of the monologue that Hen is giving is that we struggle to see them, quote-unquote, kids, as their own person instead of just as an extension of ourselves. I think that ties into Beth, who was like putting her and her content creation's needs over Bryson's. But I don't care. Nobody cares.
No one cares.
So we cut back to the Maddie apartment where Ji-yeon has finally gone down for the night. Chim is unpacking takeout because he is going to surprise Maddie with dinner and a movie. Like, it's like date night, but, new parent style, because it's going to happen on the couch. And he very graciously lets Maddie pick what they're going to watch for their dinner and the movie. And she's very excited. And then we cut to like maybe 30 minutes later. It's not going to be that long. They are both wiped out asleep on the couch. And we see the movie still playing on the TV screen in front of them, which is the feed from the baby monitor.
It's very cute.
That's cute. And also...
that scene also was very cute.
really sad that they decided to watch the baby monitor. It's like, no.
Yeah.
On your date night.
they're still in the new parent thing. Their kid's still cute, or has just turned cute at 2 months old. I don't know. They're not an alien anymore. It's cute.
Then we get a rare Christopher sighting, random Christopher sighting.
Yeah.
I wonder if there was extra storyline for the Diaz's that got cut in favour for the David Wallacing storyline, but Anna and Eddie are on the couch watching a movie, not the baby feed monitor, not the baby monitor feed.
They're also watching Ji-yeon's baby monitor. No. They're just like, this is really boring.
Or it could have been worse. They could have been watching Christopher sleep, which wouldn't have worked because Christopher can't sleep and he's come out to ask if he can watch TV with them. Eddie looks a little bit like, oh, dude, like you're crashing this, you're cock blocking me here. Anna is immediately like, get in here, bud. Which is interesting. So then Chris gets to pick what they watch.
Eddie says he's got to pick something good for them to watch.
Because apparently
they don't like baby monitor.
They don't like the kung fu movie that they were watching before.
The voiceover Hen says sometimes dedication isn't always a good thing. We put our kids first for so long we can lose sight of ourselves. That's where we go back to Connor, who broke his legs.
Yes! He broke his legs.
His mother is feeding him chocolate pudding.
And not just feeding him, she's literally doing the here comes the airplane, which is when I completely changed my opinion of her and her husband, and I am now fully on Harv's side.
Yeah, Bex also took out, I just read Ellen, because that's the name of the dead woman in the next scene. Bex also took out a restraining order on Trish and Connor in this scene. it's not even possible because they're fictional, but she just went to the judge, showed them the scene, and was like, oh, fuck yeah, stamp
like,
that.
I don't agree that he should have, tampered with the trellis and put Connor's life in danger.
Yeah, like, he could have killed his kid. That's probably not okay.
But if this is the level of coddling that she was doing to Connor, then yeah, no. Get him away from me.
Yeah. Yeah, then we go back to Julia staring at the empty bedroom and picks up her mother's locket. It just... that we already did that whole thing with fucking Abby and her mum.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't
It's been
care
a
about
while
doing it
since
again.
then, but anyway. Yeah, all right. It's a very quick scene anyway. But we're going
Very
back
quick
to
scene.
dispatch.
That's the part of her mother that she's taking with her and moving on with, I guess.
Well,
Yeah, it's the locket that has apparently nothing in it because they don't even show it. It's not even significant enough to open.
Well, maybe
It's just a
she's
locket.
got,
It
like,
could
maybe
have
she's
been-
literally got her mother in it now. Maybe she put the ashes in it.
Like, it could have been, like, a cute bit of engraved jewellery or, like, her wedding ring on a locket or on a necklace or something, but no, it's
Or
just
a locket where we
with
saw the
nothing in it.
photos on the inside, but
Yeah. Like, could have been a family photo, could have been a photo of those two as, like, when she was younger. No, it's just an empty locket.
it's just a random piece of jewelry that they found somewhere in, like, wardrobe, in costumes.
Yeah. Then Hen says, we live our lives for our children. Every single thing we do is for them, even the things that are hard for them to understand.
Which is the killing yourself to set your child free, I guess, is why
yeah.
we get Julia at that point. Then we're going to cut to 911 dispatch, where Josh is completely inappropriate because he and Sue are going over the roster, trying to work out how they can get all of the shifts filled, considering that everybody is leaving to go on leave to take care of children or because they're newly pregnant and will need leave later on. And he turns to Sue and says, how come you never had kids?
yeah, damn.
Like,
yeah, how come you and Don never had kids? Oh, sorry, none of my business.
Which you recognize that it's none of your business, and yet you had to ask it. I know it's for this next line, and I know it's for the next episode, but yeah, because Sue's response is, I have kids, I have a floor full of them. But, like you
Sue,
just...
maybe get a life, honey.
but you don't
It's
ask
found
people
family.
No, you don't ask people that.
But this is bringing in the found family aspect, which we hardly ever have found family acknowledged or like we have. Obviously, it's in the show a lot, but they never actually call it out. They're usually saying that like blood family is number one. But at least in this one, they actually say sometimes a family is what you make it.
And then we cut back to Hen Ren, who for some reason have been given more kids to foster, despite the fact that they are clearly unfit to be foster parents, like for emotional reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they just threw a tantrum a couple days ago, and then we're just like, oh, actually, our 8-year-old son has decided it's all G if we foster.
Exactly.
I hope this is like a little while later, though.
I don't know. Timey-wimey in this episode.
But yeah, so they, Deirdre's like, yeah, it'll just be a few days. There's 2 kids who have, like, a suitcase each. And Hen tells Denny to take the kids to their room. Apparently their aunt's driving down for them in a couple
Yeah, so
days.
this literally will just be a few days because there is biological family coming to claim them.
And Denny's like, cool, I'll show you all the good toys. You're going to like it here. My mums are awesome. Like, that's cute. Denny's cute. And yeah, then Hen says, if you're doing this whole parenthood, take a shot.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
If you're doing this whole parenthood thing right, it's your kid who's teaching you the life lessons, not the other way around.
No?
Like, I'm pretty sure you should be teaching your kids some lessons. I think
if you learn a few lessons on the way, that's probably, like, bonus. But no, you should be teaching your kid.
Yeah.
It's like, I will accept 2-way street, but it's definitely not one way, like, the kid to you.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so season 4, definitely my favourite season still, but, like, Jesus Christ, some of them are episodes. Can't have bangers every week. unfortunately.
Yeah, this one just didn't really hit, did it?
Just didn't hit.
And I think the reason it didn't hit was that it was trying so hard to hit. It was trying so hard.
Yeah, it had, like, it was throwing the emotions at us, and we're just like, we don't, like, we have emotional, we're still not over the emotions of last week. That was literally just a week ago and was a much better episode, and so much shit happened that they should have just done, like, a more comic relief one this week.
Yes.
But instead they were like, oh, let's make it real sad, and we're like, we don't care. Albert almost died. We're real sad still that Albert's sad.
Yes. Mm-hmm. They're trying to get us to, they're trying to get us to care about stuff we just unfortunately don't care about. We're trying to get us to care about characters that we literally met 2 seconds ago, and like David Wallace and that never works for me anyway.
I cared about David Wallace more than the mother and daughter on this show.
I think because David Wallace was the first time we saw it. And
also because it was David Wallace. Like, I cared about him from The Office. I didn't care about him from 911.
Now I was like, what
are you doing with my CFO?
But now we recognize the pattern, and we see when it's coming, and we're like, oh, I see what you're
they're trying to make me care about this person.
Yeah. But, so they're trying to make us care about characters that we've never met. They're trying to make us care about something that happened 4 years ago.
That too. Like, it might have... I was going to say it might have hit a bit better if we didn't have such a big episode last week, but I don't think it would have.
No, I don't think it would
have. I wish they'd just... Parenthood, absolutely fine to do if they want to do fucking Hen and be dickheads, but the rest of it should have been very lighthearted.
There was definitely different ways they could have covered Parenthood.
Shown how, like, Chimney and Maddie were struggling because, like, it was their first time back at work. Why throw emotions down our throat when last week was so emotionally taxing? And then we had a weird time jump in a week. We had a 2-month time jump. We could have had a week of Chimney and Maddie being on maternity leave.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know why they rushed through that.
Well, they needed Maddie to go back to work. And you can't do that in a week.
But why?
Because that was their struggle of parenthood, is like trying to be a parent and work at the same time. And have 2 working parents.
Yeah, which I get, but they could have done that, like, I don't know, it was stupid. We needed something lighthearted. I'm still tired from Albert. Like, just give me a minute to have a break.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to get a break next week. So, unfortunately.
Sure not.
Oh, Lord. All right, tell us what's happening next week.
Well, you already know what's happening next week.
But for
anybody else... if anybody else...
Remind me what happened in the next episode.
So, next week... The members of the 118 rush to the site of a hit and run that leaves a familiar face in critical condition. Meanwhile, with Buck's help, Athena investigates the case of a missing woman last seen in a casino, and Josh begins. Actually, it's Josh recalls an emergency in 2006 that led him to become a 911 operator, but it's literally Josh Begins.
It's Josh Begins. I was so excited to see this. You know what's funny?
You know how I was talking about my notes, the notes that I wrote in my first watch through?
Yeah.
My notes from this actually say, like, just check the episode title to see if it was actually Josh Begins.
So triggers for next week, we have car accident, car versus person. Well, person does not win, car wins. Generic trigger for cops. Discussion of missing black persons and treatment thereof, by whom I'm not entirely sure, possibly by the cops. Hit and run, which reflects back to the car accident, kidnapping, roofies, and threat of gun violence.
Yay, another real lighthearted episode.
No, but
the next episode I actually did like, but...
Well, Josh is definitely the star of the next episode.
Because it's Josh Begins.
Yeah.
It is Josh Begins. We should just call it Josh Begins.
It's actually called First Responders. I don't know why.
No.
AKA Josh Begins.
All right, so I know we've given this episode a real panning, and we can only apologise for not liking it, but, you know, join us in our hatred. Let us know what you thought.
Or disagree with us completely.
Oh, yeah,
if you enjoyed your favourite episode, please come fight us. Please explain to us
redeeming qualities of this episode. No fighting.
Just tell us what it was that you liked about it. That would be fine.
We're not going to. We're not going to fight you.
We're just interested. Yeah.
bare knuckle boxing outside.
We'll take you down to like Eddie's rage cage and we'll duke it out.
Rage cage. You can leave us a comment on this episode's post on thatweewooshow.com or in Spotify or on YouTube or via social media. All the different ways that you can do that are on thatweewooshow.com. And make sure you're subscribed so you get notified of when new episodes are going up.
Yes, please don't trust the social media because I suck at updating our social media. Rely on your subscriptions.
Subscriptions will tell you. Trust the robots. Thank you very much for listening this week, and we will talk to you next time about episode 11, which is called First Responders. See you then.
AKA Josh Begins.
Josh Begins. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
911 is a fictional show, but many of the situations portrayed happen in the real world too. If any of the topics we've discussed in this episode have affected you, please know you're not alone. You can call or text numbers in your country for help. Just Google crisis support in your location to find out the number. If you enjoy our podcast, you can help us out by leaving us a review on Spotify or your preferred listening app, and by sharing our social media posts. Find out more at thatweewooshow.com.
Races out of the house as the ambulance gets there and screams his name. And it turns
Just
out...
totally what you do to a burglar, you know.
A what?
I don't know. I'm very tired.
Burglar?
I'm just going to make you...
burglar?
Burglar. Burglar.
Look, this is all I've been hearing for half an hour. Oh, now she's... Yeah, there we go.
She is very barky, isn't she? Is it the possum again?
I've got a camera out facing where the possum hole is because we're waiting for it to leave, and it hasn't left. And I let her, I literally left before, took her outside, showed her that there was nothing. She was like, okay, came back inside, and now she's going off again.
Oh.